people, pretty faces, sitting at home. Now, we're not going to vouch for the quality of this, but we're experimenting, and we're seeing how this is going to look.
I know you've missed them at home, everybody.
And, Power, I don't know if you know this, but it's very dark around you, and it's very dark, and I can barely see.
He's just black.
No.
That's a black joke.
That's a black joke. And Power Infiniti is with us. How long have you been in the rabbit hole of Polk County in Central Florida? How long have you been up there?
Well, I believe the last my last taping with It's Happening Out was the week right before Winter Party, or maybe the week after Winter Party. Right after Winter.
Oh, yeah. So like 5 weeks, you think?
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I knew that
about
this was...
5 weeks, 3 days, 21 hours, and 11 minutes.
You know,
but who's keeping track?
America, this has been the best 5 weeks, 11 days, and 23 hours I've ever had. Well, welcome back, and we're going to have fun here tonight, and I can't wait to hear... I can't wait to hear how Donald Trump is going to be railed on in the Blogos digital field. So we're happy you're here with us. And also, of course, is Chef Josie. She's joining us tonight. Chef Josie, of course, everybody, regular host at It's Happening Out, is a Bravo reality star and blah, blah, blah.
And our fellow host on Happening.fun.
Yes, and our co-host at Happening.fun. And she is actually in coronavirus quarantine. Because you, of all of us, you tested positive.
Yeah.
The lucky one. That was me, the lucky one, okay?
So you won the prize.
It is lucky because you're inspiring.
And you get the prize. Yeah.
But you're looking great.
Thank you very much. Tonight is the first night that I have done my hair in weeks. And I even put a little makeup on for you guys and for all the viewers. And also, I'm waiting this week to get retested because I'm feeling my strength back. Yeah. And I think, hey man, I think that I made it through, and I'm feeling strong again, and just grateful and humbled. So
that's all wonderful news. I've got one serious question though. Now this is a serious question. This is you doing your hair? Really?
That was good.
Well, welcome back.
All these past weeks. Whoa! Today,
right.
I got to put together.
And we're trying to get Aaron Phoenix in, but we're having some technical difficulty. Apparently, they don't have electricity in Pinellas County, and so we're sending the generator over and seeing whatever can happen there. And also, finally, we have to report on Ron Brenesky. Ron is in hospital, host at It's Happening Out. He is still in a medically induced coma. He has had quite a serious situation.
Wow.
Is on a respirator in ICU in Miami. I talk to his circle frequently, and we all the best wishes for Ron, and we'll keep you up to date there. So we've gotten all of this out of the way. Can we jump right into It's Happening Out and talk about the world and what's going on? I know y'all have so much to say. We want to begin with Happening Now. It is our breaking news, and we have an interesting video with some messaging that we want to show you. In Happening Now breaking news, we want to point out that we have identified how you catch coronavirus. Now that sounds maybe ridiculous, but we know now how you catch it. You catch it by a cough or a sneeze. And just 12 miles from here at our set at It's Happening Out at Florida Atlantic University, we've gone into a simulator to show you what happens with coughing and sneezing and the effect of coughing in or sneezing into your elbow or the use of a face mask. We really encourage you, America, watch this closely because it very likely could help save your life. Watch this.
Scientists at Florida Atlantic University using a lab to visualize what happens when we cough.
Charging.
The engineering professors use a dummy to simulate the cough droplets we all create.
3, 2, 1.
The FAU team uses a laser to follow how far those droplets travel. What you're looking at is a mixture of water and glycerin that creates smoke 10 to 20 microns in size. The simulation shows the projection. 3 feet traveled in less than 2 seconds. Within 12 seconds.
That's at 6 feet.
And in 41 seconds.
There we go, 9 feet. And that was a cough, would you say?
That was a heavy cough.
In some tests, we saw the cough travel up to 12 feet.
Okay, this is a slight cough.
The scientists say naturally, a lighter cough doesn't travel as far. In every simulation, we observed what the naked eye cannot see.
I'm standing at the 6-foot mark. We have a heavy cough. Smoke comes, lights out, and there, you can see it coming towards me.
Remember, the use of a mask is to protect other people, not you. It doesn't stop at 100%, but you can see how it dissipates a cough.
Well, I think the video is absolutely breathtakingly stunning. We show you the contradictions that were done on masks. We were first told, don't do it. Then we were told, well, it's okay to do it. Then our beloved President Trump said, I'm not going to do it, and we're off to the races. Now, Florida Atlantic has proven that is the way the virus is spread. And the 2 ways that it's transmitted is sneeze, cough to another person, which is why the mask does so much in terms of minimizing that spread, or from sneeze, cough, to surfaces. And the question is, how long does it live on surfaces? We remind you, by the way, on Thursday night, tomorrow night, every Thursday night at 7 o'clock at Q News Tonight, we do Q's Q&A. And tomorrow night, we have renowned HIV/AIDS doctor, Dr. Howard Grossman with us, who answers a lot of very specific LGBT medical questions. And tomorrow night, we also have the former Secretary of Health and Human Services with us, Donna Shalele. And she will be with us in questions, and we'll answer lots of your questions that you're doing at It's Happening Out and our Facebook-related pages. Guys, tell me about what you think about wearing masks. Josie Power, I suppose you're not having to wear. Well, you have to wear a mask even in your social isolation, Power, or social quarantine for Chef Josie, right? You're wearing masks?
Oh, yeah. I have like 3 different masks. I have one mask that I go out of the house if I'm walking around the yard. I mean, now it's a lot lighter than it was when I was really feeling the symptoms, but I'm still taking the precautions, keeping everyone else around us safe. And also, I'm on the mend. I don't know how this actually works still, whether or not there's another strain. There's an urban legend that says that once you recover from the virus, that now all of a sudden you create these antibodies and that you're almost immune to the coronavirus. Well, I don't know that for certain. And, I don't know if I'm going to go and contract another stronger version of it. The more I'm exposed to the virus, who knows what that looks like. Again, it just comes down to taking the precautions, right? And being safe. Why did we close down all of our businesses and get furloughed and get laid off if we're not going to stay the course and just be on, air to the going back to square one?
Yeah. Power, tell us about your situation with masks. What are you doing?
Well, I am also wearing a mask whenever I go out, me and my husband, but I don't wear a mask like in my house. I don't wear a mask in my house because it's just me and Hunky Pook, and both of us are fine.
Oh, I haven't heard Hunky Pook in 5 weeks, 11 days, 23 hours, and 7 minutes.
Oh, we miss you so much. God.
I know. I miss you guys too. But yeah, we wear masks and gloves. But I think the interesting thing about the video, and I'm very glad that we showed it, was there is this question that everybody continues to ask, which is, do the mask prevent you from getting coronavirus, or are they for other people? That's something that we keep hearing different answers. This video answered that explicitly. The masks are for us to protect from giving it to other people. The masks are not for our protection. They are for the protection of everybody else.
Absolutely right. And if I may piggyback on Power's observation and statement, we've reported at Q News repeatedly from the very best in terms of medical opinion on this. The reason that is so important is 25% of us that have coronavirus that haven't been tested because our testing in America is a total failure is that we are asymptomatic. So we're not coughing, we're not sneezing, and someone wouldn't know you're infected. The mask still protects everyone around you, even if you're not coughing from the droplets coming out of your lungs, which is why you should all be wearing masks. Power's observation is brilliant. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I've been really concerned about the fact that so many people in South Florida, I go out and bike every day, rollerblade every day, run, because gyms are closed, thankfully, and I appreciate that everything is closed for now. I don't want the beaches to be open, DeSantis. However, I am concerned when I go out because majority of people, almost everyone, does not have a mask. I'll be biking by people with their car windows down. Obviously, this shows that it can be spread that way, as friends have told me for a while. I think I even shared that information with you. I'm concerned now to go out biking because of this information. And I'm going to listen to science. I'm not going to be one of the politicians that refuses the science. But it's difficult to be near people, biking, being outside, doing anything, and have them not have a mask. And it makes me want to scream. There are frequently times, even at the grocery store, where I've almost gone off at people for not wearing masks or for coughing on things. That's just ridiculous. You should be put, not in jail, but pushed out of the room, as far as I'm concerned.
If you don't mind, I'm curious. So with all of those rules that you're putting in, which sound incredibly reasonable, is it parks where you're getting your sex now, or where is it happening?
I am being such a good boy, Mom. I have my mom. Everybody, my mom is
Napoleon's
older.
Mom is watching the broadcast right
and
now.
She's older.
Lean in, saying what he's doing. What?
I'll lean in. And she is older. She has COPD. So she being predisposed and being of the age range where she would not want to be out. She's completely alone right now, and I wish I could give her a hug. I'm sorry I can't, Mom, but I would hate to think that I could be doing something to endanger other people. I will not go out and have sex as much as I really want to. Even Al is looking good right now. You can tell how that looks.
Whoa!
I know. But I would not.
Another backhanded bitch
slap. I would not want to be out right now, and I'm doing everything I can to make sure that I'm being a responsible citizen of the world, and I wish other people would too.
Yeah. So, Misty, any concerns for you?
No, I think that video was amazing. I like that it showed basically it's easier to spread than butter, which I think everybody knew, but it just gives a visual of how exactly it goes into the air. And like everyone else, I'm definitely 100% wearing my mask when I'm not in my car and not in my house. Obviously, we are 6 feet plus away from each other, so that, and thankfully nobody's coughing or sneezing in the studio.
Right.
But
they wouldn't be here if they were doing
that.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
One of the things I really like about the video is we know how it's happening. It eliminates all of the mystery. It is coming out of someone's lungs, and that's how you're getting it, either to the person or to surface. So if you do as good a job as you can to prevent the droplets from another person to you, or if you do touch surfaces, you're constantly washing your hands or using sanitizer, you have increased the likelihood of not transmitting COVID dramatically.
Yes, which is something we did not see in all of the protesters that wanted their gerbs back. That they took our gerbs and we got to protest. Well, then at least wear your protective gear, or you're gambling with lives on other people's wallets. And that's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move in to some other fun things. But first, we want to tell you good evening again, America. This is going to be a very interesting and unique It's Happening Out. You are watching the world's most popular live gay TV show. So many of the stories and the things that you want to know about are coming next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out.
Ellen DeGeneres Show or The Ellen Show are apparently furious at the lack of communication from the top.
Our new game, Saved by the Bell.
My golden call.
It's all happening out tonight. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Special guest host, Misty Eyes.
Yes, West.
With your host, lifestyle expert NapoleonPlays.
I'm going to do the
Reality TV star, Chef Josie. Trans activist, Aaron Phoenix. DJ Diva Power Infiniti. Republican political analyst, Ron Brenesky. And our moderator, Al Ferguson. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, again, welcome, America. It's Happening Out. We are live. Did I say that enough?
I thought we were clapping. Yeah, come on, let's get that. Woo!
Anything can happen.
Isolation
Power
clapping.
and Chef Josie are digitally with us as hosts tonight, so God help us. Whatever's going to happen, it's live. As I said, this is the world's most popular live gay TV show. And Napoleon, tell us about your watch.
Well, we want to make sure that you guys will like and share our stories, and more importantly, that you'll start a watch party. We've got a great video prepared for everybody at home. We know that you're at home, isolating, being safe, just like we are. We're isolated, and half of our people are at home and safe. Stay tuned to figure out how to do that. When viewing our live show in your app, please click share. After clicking share, your screen should change, and you can then click watch party. On the next screen, you can write text to your viewing audience, and then click Start Watch Party. You've done it. Enjoy your party.
Well, it's as easy as that, and our hosts and our guests that come to South Florida, they stay at the Best Western I-95 here in Fort Lauderdale and Wilton Manors, and we thank them. And you're watching a live illustration of that because Power is coming from room 109 right now, and Chef Josie is coming from room 106. And how are y'all liking the Best Western coming from the broadcast tonight?
Well, you were mistaken. My room is 69, and
lies and propaganda.
And I can tell you, I'm loving it very, very much.
Yes, it's very spacious, isn't it?
Hello, yes.
That's right. All right. Well,
thanks,
we also want to let you know, America, as you know, we're broadcasting from our permanent set in the middle of the World AIDS Museum and Education Center here in the heart of Wilton Drive, here in Wilton Manors in Fort Lauderdale. Power's coming from Kentucky. That's where you're at tonight, Kentucky. And,
close enough, Polk County.
Polk County in Central Florida. And Chef Josie is actually, interestingly enough, I could walk to her in about 5 minutes, couldn't I? That's how close you are.
Like 7 for you. It's okay.
Maybe 10.
That's right. We're broadcasting, as we always joke, from the gayest place on planet Earth. We also want to thank our set being the courtesy of Concepto Modern Living here in Fort Lauderdale. And we want to remind you, in coronavirus, my goodness, are we killing it. When so many LGBT magazines have stopped publishing, live videos have stopped, the Happening Out television network has really made a gigantic commitment to be here and expand. We got exciting news today that our website has reached the most popular LGBT website in Florida by a factor of 100. The website has become the 15,000th most popular, most web traffic visited website in the world since coronavirus started. And the shows, Q News Tonight is daily at 7 with Misty and Napoleon. And I can't wait, guys, for y'all to come back, because I can't wait for you guys to come back. You know what I'm talking about? So let's jump right into the show. Neither one of you laughed at that, by the way. Did you think it was true?
Yeah. No one can see. No, I want to make sure America sees, the world sees.
Let's
the
jump
stare
in.
He's getting everybody on set.
Let's jump in. Now you know what goes on at Q. Al tees it up, silence.
Al
It's
tees
totally
it
silent,
up,
right?
and he gets.
All right,
Al tees it up.
I am so happy already you two are with me tonight. It's so exciting.
Variety.
All right, let's tee up our meme of the week. Now, Josie hasn't seen this for a long time. Power hasn't seen it for 5 weeks. Our meme of the week. None of us knows what it is because we haven't seen it. It's called Star Wars. Show us the meme of the week. And it says, "Come to the dark side. We have masks and respirators."
Oh, yes.
That's cute. Okay, got it. Vader's mask, Stormtrooper's mask.
Oh, yeah.
I assure you,
Kylo
they're
Ren.
more
Hot.
comfortable than this mask. Much more comfortable.
Anyone else have a Kylo fetish?
Yeah.
A
Kylo?
lightsaber fetish?
No, he's not cute.
You thought Luke Hamill was cute?
Yeah.
Mark Hamill was cute?
Mark Hamill.
Luke,
I like
Mark
the
Hamill?
first Luke
I'm
Skywalker.
a Star Trek guy. Yeah. Anyway.
Anakin when he was little.
All right, let's
Star Wars
Bigger.
Josie
Christensen,
and
yeah.
Power. I'm sure that they know how the show works because they've done it. Power's been with us right from the very beginning, like Napoleon. So I know, and it's just popped into my head, and I'm going to see. I'm going to watch you both very closely. We're going to play I'd Swallow That, and I'm sure your shots are all ready to play.
And I'm sure yours are delicious.
Chef Josie's going to go, Marcy! Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's what I pretty much got that about 12 seconds before it happened. Yeah. Remember, America, I told you, we're a live show. Here we go. And our hosts who have done it for 496 years are scrambling.
Forgot.
All right. We have vodka here in front of us. We have the shots. We're getting ready. I'm going to ask 4 questions. I hope you play along at home with us. I'm going to ask you a question. If you agree, you take the shot. If you disagree, you don't take the shot, and I'm going to ask somebody that's interesting why they did whatever they did. Everybody knows what we're going to do?
Let's go.
All right. Here we go. All right. Question number 1. I'd swallow that. I can't. Oh, wait. I forgot to tell you something. Our questions tonight celebrate Earth Day. Today is Earth Day. Right?
Woo. Alcohol abuse.
Hey, pass one out for planet Earth.
That's right. So our
Lapping water.
questions, I swallow that, relate to celebrating Earth Day. So question number 1, I'd swallow that. I can't wait for parks to reopen. Parks.
Cheers. I'll drink to that.
No one can see my face.
Chef Josie,
Store.
Power, care nothing about.
Why? You can
Wait,
ride your bike.
all right, Power. You've mugged for the camera. Tell us why. Tell us why.
Well, I can wait for parks to reopen until they find a vaccine or a treatment.
All right.
I can't wait. That's what's getting people fucked up right now. So, yeah, I can wait.
Yeah, okay. All right. So you don't believe in what's going on in Georgia?
No. I believe in the death toll climbing that's going to happen because of this irresponsibility.
Oh,
I definitely believe in that.
Careful. Be careful, Power. They might call you an alarmist.
Yeah.
And they can call me whatever they want, but at least I'll be alive.
That part.
We reported we've crossed 44,000. Misty, you're looking forward to... Are you a parks kind of girl?
No, but I like nature and I like being outside. And now I read that as in I can't wait, as in like I want parks to open. I will wait, very much like Power. I'm not trying to go...
Now, Misty, you do know being outside doesn't mean Neiman Marcus. That's not what this question is.
Girl, please. I'm from Alaska. I know what hiking is. I know what fishing is. I know what going outside means.
Oh my God, that's so sexy. I'm an Eagle Scout, so I find that really sexy. I don't care if you are now a trans woman, a woman. I am very interested
Tune in the
that.
gay boy flirting with fish.
I was going gay boy flirting with
I'm like a little bit. I'm a little bit
by the way,
bisexual.
America, I have to
Just
clue
a
you
little
in
bit.
on something. Napoleon is horny as fuck.
I will take that. I will take it as valid truth.
Oh my gosh, it's not just true. It's true every minute of every day.
All right.
I was watching every person I went outside to see, all the construction workers. They had bird balls because they were.
You know, I've gone on walks. By the way, Josie Power, because we haven't had an opportunity to talk to him about this. I'm doing up to like 6 miles a day in walk, and sometimes I'll do it with Napoleon if he'll crawl out of bed before 4 in the afternoon. And when we're out and about, if his head turns on every physical being that appears on the horizon.
It's true. Every single human.
That's the motion, Josie.
Some humans, some non-humans,
just quickly with regards to like parks and stuff. Do you guys? I mean, does anybody feel like right now they need to have parks to be able to, like Al said, get out and walk and get fresh air, and you know, because we do that. Me and Kyle, we do that every single morning. We walk around a lake, or you know, we walk around our neighborhood. We started a new game where we started exploring different neighborhoods, and we play this game where we rate houses from 1 to 10. You know, we just make up little things. Yeah, like you know, but we still find the outside adventures that can be found even without parks.
Yeah, we don't need the parks to be open in order for us to get out into the world.
Right.
There's one exception to Power's question. I'm not a big beach person, but if I was going to go to a beach, the one beach I'm really excited to go to is one that's called Jacksonville. Jacksonville? No. I'd swallow that. Let's do question number 2. I'd swallow that. Pets are my favorite people.
All right, finally some drinking.
Absolutely.
I love
Seriously?
babies.
I'm the only person not going to take that shot.
Yeah, animals don't like you, do they?
What'd you say?
No,
you didn't take the
I'm
shot?
the only person. I did not. I'm the only one. Animals, not so much.
Oh.
Well, you know me. I have my mini zoo here at Josie.
Wait. Let's run through real quick. America, let me give you a little Chef Josie 101. How many dogs do you have?
I have 4 dogs.
How many cats do you have?
1 cat.
How many birds do you have?
5 birds.
How many girlfriends do you have?
1 at the moment. Actually, I have no girlfriends. I have a wife. Open to girlfriends.
There, I opened the door for you. Napoleon, you're an animal person?
I'm hardcore an animal.
You're
person.
an animal, period.
Now, I do identify as pup. No. I love animals. I don't believe in bestiality. Let's be clear. Away from the microphone. I do not at all ever believe in having sex with an animal because that can't be consensual. But I love them. They're so sweet and loving. And there's a reason right now that foster homes for pets and adoption centers are at the all-time highest rate of adoption because everyone right now is stuck at home and they need that sense of love. And animals and pets provide that love.
Can I just tell you, I've teared up a little. And I teared up a little, not because of what Napoleon said. I didn't tear up for that. I teared up because as Napoleon went into that diatribe, Power's eyes did that very famous twirl and I'm over it kind of thing. I've missed that so much.
No, I didn't. My eyes did that because you said you don't like animals, which really speaks to the person that you are. You can't.
Thank you, Power.
The library is open and read, darling.
I miss you guys so much.
Well, that's another episode of It's Happening Out. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you
Bye,
next
Power.
Wednesday. And I assure you, the digital connections, they won't be working next week. All right, let's move on to question number 3. I'd swallow that. I miss the woods and all the things you can do in them.
Oh, my God.
Wait, I'll take that shot.
That's a
I'll
Napoleon.
take all of that. I'll take it in deep.
Oh
my
please.
God.
Stop me. It's like The Mask.
I grew up
Napoleon just said it. He loves the woods. He'll take it in deep.
I grew up with the woods in my backyard.
We know.
We don't have woods down here.
Well, yes, the people that listen to
it's not like we're going to... I can't... If I was in Alaska, I would go hiking in the woods, but there's no woods.
Swamp.
Yeah, I have some friends like you, Misty. You know, you're in Alaska. I remember being in Alaska and thinking a real special kind of person needs to live here. But man,
Yes.
I really enjoy the great outdoors. A friend of mine on Instagram was posting pictures recently of like, hiking by a creek and in the middle of lush forest. And I said, wow, I really wish that I lived near some wide open country. What we have is a beach that I don't want to go to, even though I love the sound of an ocean. But I mean, how nice it is to be able to be out there with you, nature, some animals. You might not see them, but that is what I'm talking about. I bet you have some up there.
My sister posted yesterday.
Yeah.
My sister posted yesterday that there were 6 moose in her yard.
Yeah, we're gonna show you something on that that's interesting. Power, you're a woods guy? Okay, clear. I frequent Sawmill camping route.
Oh yeah, you do the trails.
And
trails
Sawmill, I call out George Cressman. I say hello to Justin, the general manager. It is fantastic. It's the largest LGBT campground in America. It sits on 200 acres, and they have wonderful woods. They're called the Trails. And there's all kinds of nature and sightseeing on the trails at Sawmill.
I mean, I'm sure you guys remember, a little behind the scenes to our viewers. When we went on, when we first started It's Happening Out, we went on a little retreat. And we went to the Sawgrass Mills and
Sawmill.
Sawmill.
Oh my God! It was just me, you, and Al.
Sawmill.
Yeah, we went to Sawmill. Right.
I've been there 8 times.
We had a shopping spree. And I'm sure that like Napoleon remembers, and you guys might remember how freaked out I was over like those grasshoppers called cicadas, or what are they called?
Yeah, cicadas. I had to give you my repulsion. I had to give you a bracelet to repel them.
And Napoleon gave me this little bracelet or something that's supposed to repel them away, which I still have to this day. So clearly, I'm not really a woods person unless there's dick involved.
Wait. Now that comes back full circle to the trails
at the
Sawmill. All right, let's move on. Question number 4. I'd swallow that. And this one is probably written in double meaning for Misty from Alaska and Napoleon, who is horny as fuck.
Yeah.
Question number 4, I'd swallow that. I love mountain men.
Oh, cheers.
I love mountain men.
Mountain men, the word M. Love.
Josie, my eyes cannot be unlocked from you.
For the record, I love my Puerto Rican man.
I mean, I love mountain men, but I don't think I love mountain men in the same way you love mountain men. You know what I mean?
Well, you can't do the same things I can do.
Wait, Josie, what does that mean?
Oh, I guess you could.
It's obviously not Brokeback Mountain for you, but what is it?
No, listen, I love those outdoorsy guys. They're really sexy, and when
that's what this question has to do with
their hands. That's right.
I know. I thought it was Mountain Dew.
Man who's useful, guys. Okay,
I love Mountain Dew.
Man who's useful.
And Power, I saw you take the shot. Explain that to me.
Well, of course. I mean, I love mountain men, lumberjacks, brawny men, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, that's right. It all comes back to me now. The song is popping into my head. I remember that story of you liking a bit of slapping around and being manhandled and spun.
Choke me, call me Susan. Whatever you want to do.
Not Susan. Yeah. My name is not Susan.
All right, America, that's our game. I'd swallow that. We play along with us every week. This is the first time we've done it this way, and more to come. We're going to move into Celebrity Hot Topics now, and our first celebrity event couple. But our first that we want to talk about is Ellen DeGeneres, the goddess of the LGBT world. Well, she's been in kind of a little hot water lately, as Ellen has been doing her show from home without her union crew so much. And there's lots of pay questions for those people that are sitting waiting to see what happens. We've prepared a little summary on this. Watch this.
The crew members on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, or The Ellen Show, are apparently furious at the lack of communication from the top producers of the show. On the condition of anonymity, two sources who have been a part of the show said that the core stage crew, which was made up of more than 30 employees, received no written communication about the status of their working hours, pay, or inquiries about their mental and physical health from producers for over a month. They added that higher-ups would take calls but would reveal little to no information about what was going on with the show. Moreover, the crew of Ellen's show is also riled up that a non-union tech company was hired in order to help Ellen film the show from her home in California. Only 4 of the original 30-odd member crew works on the current set at Ellen's home, where the show is being remotely filmed. The sources further said that when the top brass finally did speak to the Ellen crew, the crew was told to brace for a 60% pay cut even though the show is still on the air. A spokesperson for Warner Brothers Television, which distributes the show, told Variety, "Our executive producers and Telepictures are committed to taking care of our staff and crew and have made decisions first and foremost with them."
Well, look, we all in the LGBTQ community, I think almost all of us, love Ellen. But kind of a tough couple of months. What do y'all think about this story, about what we're reading and hearing about Ellen?
Honestly, I think that it's all nonsense. I'm not all nonsense. I think that there are legitimate complaints made by her workers, and we should respect that. But right now, Ellen being villainized, being told that she's not an LGBTQ icon, that is ridiculous. Not only is she an LGBTQ icon, she bombed her entire career in the 90s to make sure that she could come out as gay in her sitcom, and then still had the resurgence in about 2004, 2003 with this talk show where she made her name, where she was Dory in Finding Nemo, and where she became out again and became the person we know that she is today. And while her contract expires in 2022, I think that this is absurd. Obviously, she might not be the kindest person all the time. She's human. But we should be there to respect her and be there to support her given what she has done for our community.
Other thoughts?
I think that when the pandemic hit, nobody was prepared. There wasn't a how-to book, the best tips to prepare. Nobody was prepared. And I'm sure, I work at SunServe, a nonprofit here in Fort Lauderdale, and we dodged huge bullets amazingly before this happened. But nobody could, I think we could have done it better. And I think she could definitely have done it better. Hindsight's 2020. But I don't think you should villainize somebody for handling a catastrophe to the best of their ability. That's what I think.
Josie,
I think it's also important to note here that, listen, when people are doing good work, there's like this idea that if you're doing good work, that you should probably do it all for free, or you should be the good guy, and then you're going to give away all your money during the crisis. Like it's it's implied that that's your responsibility. You get what I mean? And I think that right now, like Misty said too, it's that no one could tell you how you're going to be able to be prepared for this crisis. Okay. She's doing what she's doing. The woman has to make choices. Life is filled with choices. We must make choices in this moment. And, through it all, we're going to have to make choices that have each other in mind, right? So even with me, right? I have a little restaurant in Wilton Manors called Bubbles and Pearls. I had to make a tough decision because the business was not being supported by the takeout. We had to close the doors. I also was tested positive for the coronavirus, so it made it a little difficult to execute the game plan. So all of that being said, we're still, as a business, making choices that are also for the business and also having a dual responsibility to my team and a commitment to all of them to let them know that we're going to get through this together. No one's being left high and dry. I think that why Ellen is getting some flack right now is because there's no correspondence. The producers are not sending out a group message to everyone, keeping them connected and keeping the team connected. And they probably are feeling left out. They're probably feeling unappreciated. They're probably feeling a lot of things. I think that, this is a really good moment for Ellen to look at this, to not internalize it, but read it as feedback and respond from a place where she is, her conscious space. So that's who she is. She needs to get back on brand, and she needs to go ahead and just connect with her team who has helped her all this way.
I don't think that. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think that. I didn't know that she was being, her icon status was being, was being denigrated. I didn't know that it came to the point where she was being vilified. Of course, human nature, nasty, shady human nature, is such that no matter how big we get, no matter who we are, people love to see somebody that is at the top of their game fall. That's just human nature. But can we all agree that Ellen cannot, her status as an icon and a trailblazer in our community still can remain pristine and still can remain intact and still admit that, she was just wrong. She was wrong on this one. I don't think that she should be vilified. I don't think that that she should be drugged down. I don't think that she should be that people should use this as yet another, and this is just another opportunity to cancel Ellen. I don't think that all those things are appropriate responses, but I do think that we can call a right a right and a wrong, and she was wrong. And plain and simple.
An interesting thing, Ellen Page, there's the online petition going on for her to be the next Ellen in the Ellen franchise type of afternoon daytime talk. Ellen DeGeneres, I have absolutely no doubt, is going to do exactly what she did in her show in the 90s when she says, "I'm gay." She has walked a landmine that is almost impossible for the LGBT community when she started, especially being a lesbian. And she will continue to exhibit that skill, and she will survive completely unscathed from this situation. And one of the proofs of that is she announced just recently that she is doing this co-host contest where you contribute $25 to do an application to be a co-host of one of the shows this coming fall with her, and all of the proceeds to go to COVID-19 charities. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
It is brilliant, and a reminder, all of you at home need to vote for me, because next Monday we're going to have an amazing segment which shows exactly why I fanboy out for Ellen and why she needs to have an LGBTQ talk show host like ourselves representing Happening Out Television Network and It's Happening Out. Stay tuned for that. I know Al's scolding.
No, I'm not. I think that's great. I would love you to be on Ellen and then talk about Al all through.
I would love for you to get away.
We're going to move on to celebrity hot topic number 2, and we want to talk about another major global event, the Global Citizens Event, One World Together at Home. Lady Gaga did it last Saturday night and raised almost $128 million for the World Health Organization in the fight for COVID-19. First off, guys, did you all watch?
Yes.
And what did you think?
I watched it. I was shocked it was 8 hours because I forgot it was on, so I had to go back and re-watch it. But I watched it live. I thought it was amazing. I like seeing Annie Lennox. I like seeing Michael Bublé. I like seeing Jessie J. I like seeing a lot of the pop stars or singers that we don't normally see. I like that the Rolling Stones were playing drums on crates. I like that everyone was at home. I don't like that some of the people lip sync. But the people that sing other people's songs, like Jennifer Lopez and Lady Gaga sing Smile, I think those were moments to remember. I personally loved it.
Oh my God! Yeah, J-Lo sang "People" from what was it? From what show was that?
Barbra Streisand.
From just Funny
Girl.
Okay, Funny Girl. Yes, from Funny Girl.
Did I just correct the Broadway voice?
Yes, you did. Because I forgot. I was so shocked that she did that. I'm like you, Misty. I was really excited by the pre-show because they had a lot of performers that were from around the world. I found new people from Ireland, from South America. Sophie Tucker, which has been my favorite band now since SNL introduced me to them a year ago. I am so pumped about what they did in the pre-show, but I'm still surprised that Beyonce didn't perform, that Alicia Keys didn't perform.
Had a statement.
They had statements.
Yeah. Alicia Keys. What?
I didn't see it.
I'm serious.
The music man.
I knew Power was going to say it. I knew you were going to say that. And tell us why. Wait, I think I also know the answer.
Power was sleeping.
Wait.
Okay,
there it is. Was that it?
Power,
It was sleep?
You know you're not partying now. You sleeping now, okay?
That's right.
The vampire of DJing around the world when he's not doing it is he's asleep at 8:30 at night.
I am asleep at 8:30, and what people one thing about me that a lot of people don't know is I really do not follow pop culture. I really do not follow celebrities. I didn't even know it was going on, child. Thank you guys for breaking the news to me.
By the way,
tonight where you watch.
By the way, Power, next week, if this test works, we'll do this next week. We're going to have 9 RuPaul stories next week. So prepare. I'll send them over to you so you can do a lot of research.
I won't be on.
One of the things I do want to remark about One World, I turned it off. And I did. And I came back and I've watched bits and pieces of it. But to be honest with you, I was bored to tears. Now, it was fabulous. It was fantastic. It was awesome. But the one thing that I thought was really interesting that I learned about my interest, and I bet a lot of other people did too, we can't take live performance for granted. When you're in a taped situation or you're in your living room, there's just something, even if you're the greatest performer on the planet, there's something lost. And it was, Gaga was spectacular, of course, on Smile. But in general, a lot of the performances were, I'm not so sure. And also, forgive me for making the comparison. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is being run. Yeah. It's running now, and it's running live. But the show is just not the same without a studio audience. There's just not the same degree of excitement.
My husband watches wrestling, and the same thing with wrestling. They're doing everything that they normally do, but without the live audience, it's like a dress rehearsal.
Yeah. Eerie.
It's so creepy.
But I think that level of being uncanny, just like with John Oliver or all the late night hosts that hosted this, and that continue to, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, part of that uncanny idea of having a studio audience. Exactly. It's just that it's without that laughter, and it makes it uncanny, and it makes it uncomfortable to show what's happening in the coronavirus time.
It's funny now that you mention it.
Stop that right now, okay? The fact that we are like breaking down an event that brought the world together for a moment.
Absolutely. True.
It was about the moment that we were all like a part of.
Watching at the same time. Absolutely.
That's the moment that will not be recreated. It will not.
We don't want to be Pierce Morgan in his read. Absolutely.
I cried. There was a part that made me cry.
Just so you know, baby, you have to go back and you have to watch it. You can fast forward through it now because it will be on your in demand. But it's something to be a part of and know as a part of our history.
No, but so was Live Aid, and I missed that too. So I figure I just missed it.
We got it. You just missed it. All right. No. We're done. We're gonna move out of this topic, and we're gonna move to something that Power and Chef Josie I know have missed, because Power he calls me at least every other day. What's the best thing of the week going to be? What's the best thing of the week going to be?
Every other day.
That's a lie, by the way, America. That's a lie. So the best thing of the week we're getting ready to see, and it's called Quarantine Fitness with Adam Rippon. Let's watch this.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to get out here and share a little home workout for you that I've been doing. This is an ab workout, and the only thing that you'll need is just like a band like this. So I'm gonna take this band, and I'm just gonna loop it through, just like right here. And so with this exercise, what you're gonna need to do is I'm gonna hold it right here, and I'm gonna bend my knees a little bit, and I'm gonna pull, and when I'm pulling, I really wanna make sure I'm isolating my core. So we're gonna do here. Okay, and then now that you've opened the refrigerator in just a different way, when you start drinking, you will feel like less bad about what you've just done because you worked out before you blacked out. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Somebody want to jump in? Best thing of the week?
I thought I wanted to jump in, and then you started showing the video, and he's like, and now you've opened the refrigerator. I'm like, okay, fine. I can deal with you, little twink gymnastic. By that I mean figure skater. But like, Jesus, you're showing me how to open a door? Come on. I got that a long time ago.
America, let me clue you in on something that would have really been the best thing of the week. While you were watching the video package, Napoleon and I were discussing whether he would do Adam Rippon or not.
Yes.
And the conclusion is,
yes.
Why would you?
Until he opens his mouth.
Right.
Once he opens his mouth,
his mouth is open only.
Out.
His mouth is open in non-corona times to go down on other places.
We're going to talk about your randiness when we get to Jack Jerry.
So I forgot that you were born in
We'll be there.
1882.
All right. So, an age joke, really?
I know.
Wow.
You said
All right.
Randy, Al. Come on.
Let's move on to what's on your mind. And each week we ask the host what's on your mind. It gives them an opportunity. I got to pull out my bell because Chef Josie and Power Infiniti have so many words built up. I know they're going to violate it. So here's my damn bell right here. I give each of them 30 seconds to tell us what's on their mind. I'm going to watch it
30
really closely.
I thought this was 2 minutes. We have 2
No,
minutes.
child,
2 minutes for
child,
5 people.
you've been away from It's Happening Out far too long.
60 to 90. That's how much I remember this.
Wait, America, I'm getting ready. Normally, I have an iPad here in front of me, but we're doing the best we can, and that's what's important. All right, so we're asking our host what's on your mind, and let's start with Power Infiniti. Tell us what's on your mind, sir. Go.
Okay, well, what's on my mind is that I keep seeing this ridiculousness going around on social media where people are saying,
I swear, America, I had nothing to do with
I
that.
love what people are saying.
We're going to
Power.
skip over Power a minute and come back, but he's going to say, he's on the phone right now going, Al, did you do that? No, I didn't. Josie, you tell us about what's on your mind.
The shade.
I told you we were live.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you guys, listen, if I didn't have this course in my life where I learned some really great tools, I don't really know how I could have gotten through this, okay? So I'm talking about the comebackguru.com, all right? We're going to be, my friend Jennifer Grace is going to be offering this free workshop. So if you're in this moment right now where you need to like tap into your power and your intuition, and it's going to be time to like reinvent yourself after this crisis, go check out, register for this free workshop.
All right, and I gave you
at the comebackguru.com.
Yeah,
all right,
Josie.
I gave you a few more
words.
seconds, and I stole them from Power Infiniti.
I would love to do that with you, Josie. Another one would be
Misty,
great.
we have to be careful here. In
Sure.
terms of how
What's
we
on
talk.
my
Misty,
mind?
tell us what's on your mind.
Yeah, so right now in this quarantine pandemic, I have been, instead of focusing on the present and the sadness, I've been focusing on the future. Does that mean buying a house one day? Does that mean having kids one day? Obviously, it means graduating and having degrees, but I've been focusing on the future, like planning for tomorrow and what's ahead.
And I'm curious, you got in what's on your mind in plenty of time. What about coronavirus is making you think ahead?
To be honest with you, depression. Like I have battled some dark depression in my life, struggling with my gender identity, struggling with my sexual orientation, feeling like I was doomed for hell or an abomination. And when the coronavirus pandemic hit me and put me into that quarantine, I started to go back and seeing those dark clouds loom over me again. And I had to break through and get out. And in doing so, it's like, I'm very blessed right now. And I'm very happy with my life. And I'm dreaming ahead and planning for the future. And that helps me get out of the darkness.
Yeah, that's a very personal and dramatic share. Thank you. And Napoleon, tell us what's on your mind besides sex.
Sex is always in my mind, especially right now in Corona times. I missed the before times for that, for sure. And without a timer, I'll do my best. I'm really concerned for a lot of people. Right now, we have someone from production that might be out. And he's a good friend of mine. I used to live with him. That is out, and he's probably fine. And my mom, she is with some symptoms, but she's probably fine. And there's so many people that I know that you guys at home, you all at home, not just guys, can relate to. I think everyone soon is going to know many people impacted by this virus. I know that we're all going to be impacted by this virus, if not economically, by the fact that we're reopening, then by other standards. And honestly, I've been fighting my own depression. I'm bipolar. I am really discouraged lately because it does not seem like we can fight this. It seems like we just have an anarchist dictator in charge who does not care about the lives of the people there. And we clearly have Republicans, people in charge that don't care. It breaks my heart.
I completely understand that, but we have to continue to challenge forward. I want to share what's on my mind, because if you're a friend of mine, you follow me on social media, you know, you probably likely say, Al, are you going insane? I kind of am going insane. Piggybacking on what Napoleon just said, our federal government, the White House Coronavirus Commission, has failed. Yeah. Period. All stop. We have 4.5% of the population of the world, and currently we have 31% of all of the cases of coronavirus in the entire world. We have 4.5% of the population of the world, and we have 25.5% of all of the deaths in the world. While Donald Trump says we've tested more people than any country in the world, over 4 million, that is true, but it is a sophisticated lie. We have 325 million people. And 7 weeks ago at the CDC, he said anyone that wants a test can get it. We're no closer to that today than we were 7 weeks ago. And without testing, we cannot reopen America. Period. All stop. That's what's on my mind. Now, as we continue, we have a celebration of Earth Day. It's the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. And before we talk about does this celebration, this mark date on our calendar mean anything to the LGBT community, there's kind of some good news about coronavirus. And the good news is our planet and our animals are getting better without us, meaning our isolation is actually even better for the planet and our animals and our plants. We prepared this. Watch this.
The animals are taking over streets and wildlife is roaming with less fear.
That's amazing.
Jellyfish gliding freely through nearly boatless Venice canals. Biologists in Thailand finding the largest number of endangered sea turtles in 2 decades nesting on its empty beaches.
We have been taking habitat from these animals. It might cause a sort of increased awareness of the natural beauty that's right around us.
In India, while 1 billion people on the subcontinent stay home, the Himalayas are now visible from this spot in northern India for the first time in decades.
It's just been a tremendous clearing, and there's no question that that itself will have saved lives. But it's incumbent on us to look for ways in which we can come out of it stronger than we were.
It's a great video. The shot of the killer whale in Auckland's harbor is amazing. This is happening. This phenomenon is being reported all over the world. And it is simply because we're not out there. And the results of that are what you just saw, which is a beautiful illustration that today may be the greatest and happiest single Earth Day in our life. Our entire life. 50th anniversary. Does Earth Day matter to the LGBT community? Are we thinking about the importance of our environment at all?
I mean, if nothing else, we should be thinking about it because we have better visual clarity. I mean, look at India. You couldn't see parts of the Taj Mahal in the sky weeks and weeks ago. And now there's a visual comparison of how clear the sky is. People there might not have known the sky didn't have to be gray. And now they can look at each other. And since homosexuality is legal, they can actually look each other in the face through the coronavirus lens and not touch each other, but say, hey, how you doing? And I'll see you in a month or 6.
Interesting fact.
I think it's really magical honestly, that we have this moment that we get to pause as a human race, and that we are able, if we take the moment, this 30 days, this 45 days, this 60 days, for some folks who have been in the marathon, and we just like open our eyes and step into and be open to these gifts, watching whales and penguins walk down the street and a goat crossing the street and a busy, like, we have to remember as a human race that we are connected. We are connected to the earth. We are connected to each other. We're connected to everything around us. And I'm so happy to be able to celebrate Earth Day today, because the earth is resting while we go to.
Yeah, I got very excited. I've been talking to people all over the world. I said on Q News, we were talking about this. I have a commitment through coronavirus to talk online to 100 people in 100 different countries around the world.
And they respond back.
And they
to
do.
you.
I'm actually pretty popular. And
uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Al is popular.
I'm in the upper 60s now, and one of the people that I was talking to in France is actually in Paris, and he told me a story that they showed a camera shot from the top of the Eiffel Tower. He can't do it because the Eiffel Tower is closed. But in the picture, you could see the English Channel from the top of the Eiffel Tower. And no one in our lifetime has ever seen that before, meaning the air has cleared so much in the last 2 months that what the world is before us that we couldn't see before coronavirus is now unfolding in front of us. So we should take Earth Day today, the 50th anniversary, and coronavirus, and when we come out of coronavirus, remember the importance of what we just watched in the video, and the fact that at the top of the Eiffel Tower, you can see the English Channel. And remember, that's our real world that we should all be celebrating.
And just since part of this question is what can you do around the house to celebrate? Well, if you'll just go outside, because it is much more visible now than ever before. There is, I think since the 16th to the 25th, which we're approaching the end of, Sunday was the best day, there's a meteor shower. You can go outside at night particularly. About 10 to 15 meteors are supposed to be passing by every night. Just go out, have a good time, make a socially distanced date. I know I did with a very sexy cop that's local, 15 feet away. We'll just look at each other and say hello. But we're observing nature for the first time since I was a child, and even then it was foggy. So, find new ways to do this because the Earth is opening back up.
America, when we're in credits, I will define what 15 feet and look at each other really meant in that story. And by the way, because we're doing digital and we're talking about Earth Day and the amazing facts about Earth Day's 50th anniversary, we can bring in people from all over the world. And one of the greatest environmentalists and environmental scientist in the world is in Polk County, Florida, and his name is Dale Power Infiniti. Welcome to It's Happening Out. Now tell us a little bit about what's going on in... No, I won't drag you into Earth Day. We've just finished it. Oh, I'm so glad that we got power back because we're getting ready to do Saved by the Bell.
Wait a minute. Well, I wanted to say what I was doing for Earth Day. Actually, we are planting a magnolia tree.
Oh, lovely! You're going to hate it.
The old magnolias.
Really?
The blooms on the but you won't be around 35 years from now. They just explode.
Did you just say power won't be around 35 years from now?
Don't even get me started on that.
Power's not
great. When did you do this?
We're going to. We haven't yet. We're going to.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
You're talking about celebrating.
I hear you, Annie.
Yeah, we're thinking about talking about it.
We're talking about talking. All right. So I'm so glad we were able to reconnect power because we're going to play Saved by the Bell. It's a lightning round of LGBT topics in the news this week and other headlines, but only in 60 to 90 seconds on each topic. If any of these bitches talk too much, this is what you're going to hear. And we ring the bell and you have to stop immediately. Now, we've never done this before with people, our hosts, playing digitally. So instead of just making sure that they stop immediately like Misty or Napoleon will, we'll just unplug Chef Josie. Or that's how we're going to play.
Oh my God, don't say that in the ventilator tape.
All right, we all understand what we're doing? You ready? All right.
Yes.
Saved by the Bell, question number 1. Michael Che of Saturday Night Live's grandmother has died of COVID-19. And to celebrate her life, he pays the rent for everyone in her public housing building that she lived in.
That's really, really sweet. I mean, I watch SNL all the time. I want to be on SNL once we're done with this, and this show and others can help with that. But it must be really difficult to lose somebody right now in COVID-19. I know that majority of the nation, of the world, is going through that right now. So to be able to pass forward that act of kindness, Michael Che, I salute you. And
Any
no one
other
else
thoughts?
does, apparently.
Well, one thing that I would say is it reminds me of Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry did a similar kind of thing of doing the Atlanta Angel completely anonymously in 76 grocery stores last week. He gave Senior Hour, where seniors came into grocery stores in New Orleans and Atlanta, and when they got to the cash register, they found out their bill had been completely paid. And for an hour, he paid every single senior that was in the grocery store in 76 grocery stores in Atlanta and New Orleans.
You know, one of the things, too, what you're saying is, I think it's really important to add that, you know, regular people, you don't have to be Tyler Perry or have a paycheck from SNL. Like, we can do these random acts of kindness for people every single day. And you may not have lots to give. And trust me, guys, I understand that a lot of folks are not even sure where their next paycheck is coming from. And they're still waiting on that stimulus check. That's not the problem. We can still show just a little compassion and empathy for our fellow humans. And that's what it comes down to. I hope that this moment has inspired us all to do that.
Yeah, and that's our time. And one of the things that I want to say, an example of that, a little bond that we have for... Go ahead, Napoleon.
I wanted to share because Josie was going off of it. My roommate the other day saw someone that was getting groceries, a difficult time for anybody to get groceries, and the person couldn't pay because they had a SNAP program. And so because it was not just holding up the line, but the person clearly couldn't pay, he ended up paying for that person's groceries. That's exactly what you're talking about, Josie, making sure that you're there for other people because it's a difficult time for everyone. Share compassion when you can.
Saved by the Bell number 2. A poll shows 1 in 5 Russians would be okay with liquidating, seriously killing, gay people in Russia. Where are we going to start on that? How do we unpack that?
We're going to go with that. Come on.
Start with power.
I can see. I can kind of see, because I would say that I would agree that 1 in 5 Russians should be liquidated as well. So it's no shade, it's no
Vice
tea,
versa.
it's whatever, honey. They all the way over there, so fuck them.
It shocks me. We reported this at Q earlier in the week. Ignorance runs so deep. We had this conversation, and I made the remark. It reminds me of wait, is this 1938, and we're in Berlin, and we're talking about Jewish people and gay people? Almost 90 years ago, 80 years ago, and we're still talking about it in places in the world?
And the last survivor of Auschwitz has just passed away. As someone that is Polish and Russian in descent, this is one of the most alarming pieces of news I've heard during Corona time. It's very difficult for me as a gay Jew to read something like this about Russia, where my family heritage is from, about how people are treated across the world. It literally breaks my heart.
There is one silver lining in this story in Russia. 2 decades ago, the number was almost double. It has continued to come down. In 2020, it's just 1 in 5 now.
That is true.
The consciousness, and there's no way. We're not going backwards. We're going forward. And even in Russia, 1 out of 5. Listen, we all have one person in our family that doesn't make any sense to us, okay? Let's look at it like that, right?
I was actually going to make a joke. I was actually going to make
ahead.
a joke and say that that's probably a better number than what it was before. And now you just came and confirmed that. I mean, I'm not surprised at all. And then when you look at who Russia has at the top with Putin, who very much supports anti-LGBT policies, this is not a surprise, but at least that number is better than it was in years past.
Also, one other final note before we move to the next Say by the Bell. My friend Power Infiniti has taught me polls are really relevant because you can find a degree of idiocy in any poll, which Power points out is proven by the approval rating of Donald Trump. Right. The Saved by the Bell question number 3 is a gay couple in Poland has been handing out rainbow masks in Poland's LGBT free zones. The free zones, before we start the conversation, is where in some cities in Poland, they have coordinated areas in their city where no LGBT people can be. And they have signs calling them LGBT free zones. These two guys have come into these areas with rainbow masks that they sewed to give them away. And it was an interesting reaction of how positive that was in these free zones that the gay community would still be so generous. What do y'all think?
Well, even more intriguing than that is the fact that you notice how nobody seems to have a problem taking a mask when it saves their life, when it comes from an LGBT person, and when it's gay as hell. Nobody cares about free zones then, right? Okay.
Right. That's right. Okay.
I agree with you, Power. In fact, I don't know who Trump's. I agree with you, Power. In fact, these two guys were talking about in the story that in Polish, they call gay people the plague. So they went out and passed out these free masks to prevent people from a real virus. And they took it willingly. And some people were a little apprehensive about them being in the LGBT free zones, but then realized what they did, they allowed them to stay. And I think that's truly beautiful.
I made the point.
Really, how LGBT free does this zone actually look? Okay, I don't know about
What's
you.
their test? I want testing.
Come on.
Right, we're going to test. I want testing. One thing that I hate about this story, I hate this story, and I just point out that I hate this story because I am damn pissed off that I didn't think about getting into the rainbow mask business, that these two guys in Poland beat me to it. Pisses me off. Just pisses me off. All right, we're going to go to Saved by the Bell number 4. The story is about North Korea and Kim Jong-un. He hasn't been seen since a surgery that he had, and speculation is that he is very ill. Anybody got some tears?
Well, the theory is that it could go to his sister or to his brother, but his brother was passed over once before when in 2011 it was Kim Jong-un that became the dictator that he is. His family's 72-year-old dynasty. And his sister is female, and females are not respected. It's a patriarchy there. So this could be the entire collapse of South Korea as we know it.
North Korea.
I'm sorry, I said that yesterday too, of North Korea as we know it. Who's going to come into power after this is really unsure, unsettling, because we don't know what's going to happen, and we don't even know how sick he actually is. It's definitely an alarming time for one of our greatest allies / whatever you want to call them.
안녕히가세요, Kim Jong-un.
K-pop time. Hola.
I think
that
we're getting way ahead of ourselves. This is
Bring it back.
This is not anything that has been confirmed. And certainly when it comes to North Korea, they are such a tight-lipped, such a closed society that you don't know what is what. I mean, we're actually hearing now, on the other hand, from South Korea, which is our ally, that it's not true.
Yeah.
So
I read
we
that
don't
too.
know what's going on. So I think it's a little bit too early to break out the 12.
I'm curious, what would your reaction be if it was announced that he had COVID-19?
Come say hi to our family here at I don't wish you any harm, but if you want to reopen the entire country, then
that's our
soundbite
on North Korea. Saved by the Bell question number 5, and this will be the last of our Saved by the Bell questions. It has to do with Brad Pitt. Ready? Brad Pitt appeared on a YouTube television show called Some Good News. and he appeared as the weatherman. And when he was doing it remote, just like this, like you're seeing Power and Josie, when it was Krasinski, wasn't it?
John Krasinski.
Yeah,
yes,
John
from The
Krasinski. And you can see it here. We're showing it behind us right now. When Krasinski asked him to report on the weather, he walked to his patio, looked out the window, halfway looked out the window, and said, "It's fine," or "It's good.
Good.
It's good."
Yeah.
Yeah. What do y'all think about Brad Pitt being a weatherman?
We should have that more often. That's all I have to say. Brad Pitt should be the regular. That's it. I vote for Brad Pitt to be the regular weatherman through the crisis.
I wouldn't give a damn if he was the weatherman.
Oh my goodness!
Whatever, honey. Whatever
Wait,
he wants to be.
can we go? No, Power. No, can we go to Thelma and Louise on the bed?
Oh,
he's
God,
like
please.
19 years old. He's got the hair dryers in his hand.
Yes,
Ladies.
yes, he can be the ice cream man. I don't
Interview
give
with a
damn
vampire.
what he is.
Oh, God.
Just bring him on over.
Just bring him on over. You know, the one funny thing is related to this and him playing weatherman. I don't know if y'all remember in Canada, they had the Naked News.
No.
They did a nightly news broadcast like Q News Tonight. And they started like a regular newscast, and all the way through the show, they started to take more clothes off to completely naked, women and men.
Oh my God!
And ladies and gentlemen, we are announcing right here, and it's happening starting tomorrow.
Napoleon will be stripping during Q News.
Oh my God! And Misty.
Oh my God!
And then Aaron Darr.
Oh my God!
With special anchors Chef Josie and Power Infiniti.
Oh God! I would be
with a special appearance by Jared Curry.
Right, exactly. All right, that's our game, Saved by the Bell. Now, we're going to move into our game that we also enjoy very much. Now, production, don't get ahead of me. Let me set up how we're doing this. We're going to play Shag, Marry, Chop. Now, Power especially loves this game more than anything that we do at It's Happening Out because the Secret Service has been called over it. He brought the show down single-handedly because of his love of the Trumps and the Trump family.
So
we're going to play. We're going to play Shag, Marry, Chop, but tonight we're going to do a special Earth Day special and an Earth Day special version of Shag, Marry, Chop. And we're doing this because we discussed last week at It's Happening Out, we've discussed it at Q News Tonight. Napoleon is so horny that even inanimate objects are starting to interest him, like trees. So tonight we're going to play a very special Shag, Marry, Chop Earth Day special edition with trees. So Jared Curry, bring up that. We are going.
It really is trees.
We're going to look at Douglas firs, or Japanese maples, or white birches. Napoleon, really, all we want to hear is who would you shag? We don't care who you'd marry or chop. Who would you shag in the tree horniness that is Napoleon Play?
Read them back out to me, the Japanese.
Douglas fir, Japanese maple, or white birch.
Okay.
Oh, please, with Power sitting in the show, I hope you.
All right. Well, the Douglas looks the furriest. The Japanese looks the most colorful, but the birch looks sturdy. So I think that for a shag, I'm gonna have to go with the birch because it's nice and hard.
All right, that's all we want. Is the only thing we're gonna play right now is the shag.
All right.
So
I'm gonna shag the white birch.
You're shagging
for
the white
500.
birch. See, Power, I told you.
Well, and the NAACP will be alerted.
That's exactly right. White
Bitch, I'm from
privilege,
Baltimore.
blah, blah,
I'm probably from a
blah,
more
blah.
black area than you.
Baltimore.
76% of people in my middle school.
All right, well, it's kind of a joke, but tonight, America, we're going to have 2 games of Shag, Marry, Chop.
Oh, God.
None of the other hosts, Power or Chef Josie or Misty or Al, gave a fuck about trees. And
I had mine picked out.
Even on birthday when it comes to sex.
I was like, okay,
except Napoleon.
Aren't you all in menopause by now?
America, what does that say about his sexual prowess and ability? Have we said enough? Have we all said enough? I think we have. All right. So that's Napoleon's special Earth Day Shag, Marry, Chop, where he chooses white birch trees.
I was already ready to play, guys.
That's right. Now, because everybody's been in isolation, we're going to play the real Shag, Marry, Chop, and I don't know what it is, but let's bring it up now and see where it is. Bear Grylls, I'm assuming.
Grylls?
Oh, my goodness.
He looks
Bear
like he's in
Grylls.
Alaska.
Yeah.
And then Hazen Otto. He's handling a python or some big snake. Oh, wait, that's him. And, of course, Jeff Corwin. It's an Earth Day special of environmentalists or TV personalities that deal with nature. All right, very good. Bear Grylls, Hazen Otto, and Jeff Corwin. Who wants to start? Who's the horniest?
I'll start. But not because I'm the horniest, but because I already know this. I'm gonna shag Hazel. It'll be a one-night stand and get that out of the way.
Wait, because of his skill handling large snakes?
Because he knows how to handle large things, so that will suit me just fine. The Bear Grylls, I'm going to end up marrying him because he is hot, but he also has a lot of celebrity friends, which of course will lead me to a lot of connections, and which will help further my career.
You're always marrying up.
Of course. You got to be strategic.
Well, she doesn't go down.
And Jeff Corwin, or whatever his name is, he gets the top because y'all put up a nice picture of him, but how he looks now ain't the tea. So he gets the top.
Okay, all right. Misty, who would you?
I'm twinning with my sister, Miss Power Infiniti. I am going to shag Hazen because he does know how to handle a snake, and I want you to love all of me. And I'm going to marry Bear because yes. And I'm sorry, Jeff. I don't know what he looks like now or before. I'm usually attracted to nerds, but he gives me the not attractive nerd that I'm going to chop.
He is nerdish. Very, very nerdish, for sure. All right, Power. All right, Napoleon, you've made out with the wood birch and did whatever horrible, nasty things.
Wonderful, beautiful things. Sex is beautiful, Al, whether it's with me in a tree or a tree or a tree or other people or more trees. It's
all right.
beautiful.
That made no sense at all, sir.
Just trees.
All right. Who are you going to shag here?
Okay, so shagging, I'm going to go with, what is it, Hazel, you said? Hayden. I can't
Hazen Otto.
Hazen. Okay, it's a combination of those two. I'm going to shag him because one time he looks like he's a wild ride and a lot of fun. I'm gonna marry Bear because I think that I think Bear is going to end up dying pretty soon, probably just based on the fact that he's like doing all these like out and about things. He's very attractive too, so that seems like a good prenup. And then unfortunately, I'm gonna chop Jeff. I know that he's like the new Jeff or what is it, Steve Irwin. But I would be into that. You just didn't make it into this episode. I'm sorry. Yeah. I would shag you all though, and probably the elephant too.
I think, America, this is the first time ever in Shag, Marry, Chop where all of the hosts chose.
Except for Josie.
Josie didn't go.
Oh wait, of course, I forgot.
It's Lesbian Awareness Week, Alan. You were not aware of the lesbian.
All I have to say, Al, is stop reading my mind.
Right.
I am totally following the crowd on this one. I was like thinking about it since you showed these guys. I am totally shagging Hazen, okay? All that wildness, okay? It just looks like fun. And then I'm totally marrying Bear because he looks free. He wants to be in the wild open, you know, the wide open. And I like, ooh, how inspiring. But then we're chopping Jeff because, man, you guys touched on it. Nerdy, the not so attractive nerd. I don't even know what Napoleon said, but come on, Al, you'll make it 5 for 5 for the first time on It's
Actually,
Happening.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I apologize for missing you. I was going to say the exact same thing. Hazen looks like a good fuck. Bear looks like somebody you want to be with for a long time.
Forever, yeah.
I have watched Jeff Corwin many, many, many times. And oh Lord, the animals, thank God, in his show are interesting because he is not.
I do have to admit something. I used to have the biggest crush on Jeff.
Really?
I used to have the biggest crush on him. He has sexy legs, and I used to have the biggest crush on him. But like I said, how he looks in the video y'all putting up and how he looks now, Charlie. No, honey.
I'm gonna go look
All right. That's our game, Shag, Marry, Chop. We play it every week. We're at the end of the show. As we end, we always get to enjoy some pizza. And tonight, no exception from Jeff's Jets Pizza.
Jets.
And
not Jeff. It's not Jeff Corwin.
And our pizza. Oh, Josie. Oh, Power. Oh,
they don't
sorry.
get pizza. Oh.
Oh my goodness, doesn't that look good? And they have a cauliflower gluten-free pizza, which I like.
That's cauliflower meat.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Your audio is cutting out. What did you say? I'm sorry. Good night, Josie. Oh, that's what I was going to say, by the way. And when we were talking about that, and Josie made that comment, Josie and Marcy and her mother and I have created a bond because almost every time I do the show, I bring them something over after the show and drop stuff off. And it's been a great tradition. And I love it. And by the way, and I really appreciate that, but it's even greater for me because I'm enjoying it even more than you're enjoying it. So
then there you go. Win-win.
Completely. All right, so that's our show. Remember, if it's important to you if it's happening, it is happening at It's Happening Out. We're going to say goodnight tonight. This was a lot of work on this one, and we give all of our hosts the opportunity to say goodnight, and we'll start with Power Infiniti.
Well, good night, children. I know it's been a long time, but bitch is back, at least for this show.
Woo-woo.
But the only thing I really want to tell you guys is that we're all connected. This pandemic started with one person in China, and it's reached all over the world. So clearly, everything that you do affects everybody else. Please stay home. Please don't be assholes and go about your business thinking that it is your business. It's all our business. So stay home, stay safe, and protect the rest of the world because literally the world's hands, the fate of the world is in your hands.
Yeah. Beautiful message. And Misty, your opportunity for tonight.
I'm going to piggyback on what Power said. Everyone, you do have a responsibility to respect yourself, protect yourself, but also protect other people. Just because you don't feel sick doesn't mean you're not sick. And doesn't mean you're not a carrier and you can't give it to somebody else. So do protect yourself and protect others and take care of yourself.
And to my friend NapoleonPlays.
That's right, everybody. Remember to play. Every day, every way, especially right now. You're going to have to get creative. You're going to have find new ways to have fun, whether that be through digital means, video games, going out and finding a stick and kicking it and saying, what does this look like? Any way you can, make sure that you're indulging in who you are and learning, because I know I am. I'm taking this as an opportunity to create and to have fun and hopefully to share a lot of things. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, all those things. But really, have a good time and make sure to stay tuned every Wednesday.
And to my COVID-19
survivor,
coronavirus positive friend, Chef Josie.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to just say good night to my connected human beings out there. I hope that this moment has just taught you one thing, that life is precious, that community, the people in our lives, we don't have another moment to tell them that we love them, that we appreciate them, that we see them. I see you, and I see all my friends here at It's Happening Out, and I'm so grateful to be in this moment with everyone. So thank you so much for staying tuned and continuing to watch us. I hope that we're being entertaining enough for you. But good night.
Well, and we thank especially Power and Josie for helping us do this. And Aaron will, hopefully this experiment will help us include you next week. And one more time, we're thinking of Ron Brenesky in ICU in Miami. He's not watching this show right now. It is not lost on me that he is not lost on this show. My good night is a little bit different in to say to you that we're trying. We are doing the best we can. We're trying. In a time where many, many gay magazines have stopped publishing, or they've gone digital, or video shows in the LGBT community have gone off the air waiting for this all to end before they return, we have chosen not to do that, and in fact have grown in coronavirus. 100,000 of you, over 100,000, and we had our single biggest night last week for Q News Tonight in YouTube television. Thank you. It's Happening Out is still very dynamic, even in what you've watched here of us doing the best we can in being able to deliver in this way. Thank you. Our website traffic is amazing. When I tell you we're #1 in Florida by a factor of 100 times greater than #2, that is a fact. The 15,000th most popular website in the world, and we're not talking about LGBT anymore, in the world. It is an indication that we're touching you in unique and interesting ways. And I only say to you, America, we're really trying. We're keeping the stories alive of what is going on in coronavirus and the unique situation that we are in. Napoleon was here from the beginning. Power was here from the beginning. I was here from the beginning. Josie and Aaron came in later. Misty has stepped in now here and at Q News. And I can tell you, and I know I'm speaking for Power and Napoleon, when we started this show, we could not possibly dream that a show like this tonight, or a world that we are living in tonight, ever possibly could exist. What we've learned is that when we come out of this, we are going to be bigger and better off for what we have learned. And that's who we are. Because we're trying, America. So we tell you, if it's important to you, it's happening out. And we'll see you every night at 7 o'clock on Q News live, and next Wednesday at 8 o'clock for another episode of It's Happening Out. Good night, America.
Good night, everyone.
It's good to be back.
Yeah. I was getting bored on Wednesdays. What the fuck do I do on Wednesdays? How are you guys?